back to Kotel Stories. This is a story that I love to share when I'm looking over the stairs that go down to the Kotel, to the Western Wall. It's also a great story if you ever find yourself at Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach's grave at Har Menuchot. It's a true story. Rabbi Dr. Joshua Ritchie was once sitting at Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach's grave and saying Tehillim, saying Psalms. On his way out, he was driving out of the cemetery, and there was a beggar who asked for a tramp, who asked for a ride. So he got in the car, and Rabbi Ritchie, who's a student of Rav Shlomo, starts putting on Rav Shlomo music. And the beggar asks, "Hey, did you know Rav Shlomo?" He says, "Of course I did." Said Rabbi Ritchie, "Oh yeah? Well, do I have a story for you about Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach?" And this is what the holy beggar, as Rav Shlomo would call them, recounted. So every day, this man would sit at the Western Wall by those stairs where everyone's coming down to the Kotel and ask people for a donation to support his family. And he happened to be sitting right next to another beggar who was sickly, and the truth is, these two beggars, they didn't really get along. They felt like they were competing, and there were arguments, and there was a negative energy between them. One day, Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach himself came down to go to the Kotel, and both of the beggars came to get some words of encouragement and to share their souls with the kind rabbi. And of course, Rabbi had some songs and good words to cheer them up. And he took a $100 bill, which was a lot of money back then, out of his pocket. He gave it to me, recounted the beggar, and says, "Listen, you split it between you guys. You take half and give half to your friend." And so it was. A few days later, my competition friend came over to me and asked me for his share. And the truth is, my Yetzer Hara, my bad evil inclination, got the best of me. And I said, no, I don't have it anymore. First you try to steal my money, and now you're my competition. Now you want to take my $50? No way. And I kept the money for myself. I'm ashamed to say it, but that's what I did. And days passed, and the truth is the other beggar went his way. And soon afterwards, I heard that Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach had passed away. He went to his place in the next world. And I started feeling these terrible pangs of conscience, of guilt. How could I have done that? I took Rav Shlomo's money. I was supposed to give it to the other beggar. I need to give it back. How could I have stolen from another poor soul? But the problem is, nobody knew where the other beggar was. I looked all around. I asked all my beggar friends. Nobody knew what happened to him. And I, one day, decided, I prayed to God, and I said, "Please, God, let me pay back my debt." And I came upon an idea. I went to the grave of Rav Shlomo in Har Menuchot, up in the mountains of Jerusalem. And I started saying Tehillim, and I started praying for hours, begging God, "Please, God, let me find that beggar. Please, God, let him still be alive. Let me repay my debt. I'm so sorry for what I did." And I'm walking down from Rav Shlomo's grave, and guess what? Who do I see in the main entranceway of the cemetery? It was my old beggar friend. I was ecstatic. I came over to him. I gave him a big hug. I said, "I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did what I did. Please take your money back. Would you ever consider forgiving me for the terrible thing that I did?" And the man saw that I was sincere. He gave me a hug, and he said, "You're forgiven. Don't worry." I went over and I said, "Where have you been?" He said, "Well, the truth is, I saw that there was a lot of strife, a lot of argument between us, and it wasn't working. So I went here to Har Menuchos, and people come to visit, their relatives or holy men, and sometimes they give me a few shekel here, and yeah, business isn't as good as it was at the Kotel, at the wall, but at least here, there's no strife. And God provides for me the same way that he provides for all men." And these two men decided, you know what? In honor of the holy rabbi who tried to bring a little bit of peace to the world and a little bit of love, we're going to make peace between us, and we'll switch off. One day I'll do the Kotel and you'll do the cemetery, and one day I'll do the cemetery and you'll do the Kotel. And this way, everyone will get a little bit of business, as we would say. And they decided to take the $100 that Rav Shlomo gave them, buy 100 candles, and every day they would light a candle together. They would find a time to light a candle in honor of the holy rabbi's soul, who somehow had found a way, both in this world and even in the next world, to bring peace down to two holy Jews. Ezrat Hashem, in the merit of Rav Shlomo, next time you see a holy beggar, give him a little bit of a hug, give him some words of encouragement. Ezrat Hashem, bring a little bit of love and joy into the world in this chus of Rav Shlomo. Ay, 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 Shabbos. Ay, 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 ay. That was my baby Alicia, signing out from Yerushalayim. Give out!